Hey, welcome to the OSHA Compliance Help Show. All right. So I am hearing me here. I'm not hearing you guys on that. Or actually, I'm not hearing myself except from the board. So if you cannot hear me, go ahead and hit that nice little button that is going to pretty much tell you, like the little chat. For some reason, I just cannot hear it. Honestly, my speakers, I just cannot hear it. I wonder if I did like a mute button or something. All right. Well, I'll have to figure that one out. But while I got you here, I'm assuming that you could hear me, even though I can't hear myself. So that's where we're at right now. I can't remember. All right. Okay. Well, forget that part. I am going to pretend that I can hear you outside of the board, but I cannot. Shh. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the OSHA Compliance Help Show. I see that I'm getting some sort of volume as far as you guys can hear me, so that means I don't need these. So that's easier one, right? So, man, I didn't even have to take out my earrings for this one. The headphones really sticks my earrings, so that's why I can't wear them on that one. But since I can't hear you, that's okay. We're going to go off the chat. All right. So what I was going to go over with my my thought today, someone was interviewing me, and as they were interviewing me, they were asking me, they didn't know a whole bunch on the OSHA side, so they were asking me a little bit of questions on OSHA compliance, and one of the basic questions was like, who does OSHA cover? And I was like, well, it would seem basic. But it is not always basic because OSHA does definitely cover the public sector if there is a state OSHA plan. And that is one of the things that I had to explain. But I said if they do not have a state OSHA plan, meaning the public sector workers, then there is no coverage to them. So this interviewer that was interviewing me didn't know that. So I was telling her, yeah, that is one of the things that is still a little stuck in my craw. So that kind of led me to think, isn't it time that we really start thinking about amending the OSH Act of 1970? Here we are, OSHA celebrating 50 years. So here they are celebrating 50 years, and still public sector workers that do not have a state plan are not covered under OSHA. So who are they covered under? Well, good question, right? They're covered under their bosses. So basically, the foxes are guarding the hen house, and it's okay that the foxes are doing that and they're taking care of it. That's one way of looking at it. Yes, that's a skewed way of looking at it. I'm a consultant, and most of my clients are cities and counties in a state that doesn't have a state OSHA. So I am a little bit jaded because of that. So what I am saying is that truly, when you think about the act itself from 1970 saying that unless there's a state plan, public sector workers, and this didn't say that in the 70s, it came out a little bit later, but the public sector workers, they actually are exempt from OSHA. So therefore, like Florida, Texas, Louisiana, a whole big part of middle America, basically it's 50-50, it's almost 50-50 where there are OSHA state plans and not. So let me show you, just so you guys could get a good look. So what I know ASSP, they have been wanting to do this one in one of their I forgot the name of the committee, but one of their committees was actually thinking about, or it's dedicated to regulations. So one of the things that they wanted to do with the regulation side was to see if there's a way to amend the act. So they're working hard on that one, or at least they have, awareness of it. If now you really think about the act itself. So let's go into the OSHA Act, and I'm going to go right here into state plans. And so right here, state plans are OSHA approved workplace safety and health programs operated by individual states or U.S. territories. There are currently 22 state plans covering both private sector and state and local workers. There are 6 state plans covering only local, state and local government workers. And then state plans are monitored by OSHA, meaning federal OSHA, and they must at least be effective as federal OSHA in protecting workers and preventing workplace injuries and illnesses and deaths. So as you go through that, that's really how you're going to understand that truly the states are different from the feds. And each you were to click on this map that you're seeing over here, and here, I'll do this for you in the chat. And as always, if you do have an OSHA compliance question, put it in the chat. I'll get to it at any time, regardless of what I'm going over right now. So I'm good with that. All you have to do is go ahead and put it in the chat, and I'll answer that for you. Oh, I think I know what happened. I know I don't hear you. It just hit me. All right. Yeah, it's still not that. All right. So I am going to put into the chat box. So take a quick look at your chat box. You're going to see something coming from me to you. And what this is the link directly to the state plan website that you're seeing right here. I'm going to leave this view out on the big macro scale for you for a second. Let me lose me so you guys can see this a little bit better. I am going to also, in this time frame, you can see Alaska. That's kind of like hidden by my banner. So I'm going to take that off for now. Okay, so you guys could take a good look at it. All right, so this map over here, all that, I don't know why it's gray to blue, but they should use like different colors like yellow or orange or something else, but OSHA does not do that. So what you're seeing here, and part of the main idea that I'm thinking about why we need to amend this, is everything in the darkest color blue is a hybrid state, meaning the public sector is covered through the state plan. The private sector is covered through federal OSHA. So that's the darkest color blue. The next color blue down, which is like the middle color that you're seeing, then that is going to be the states that have a state plan. So if the state has a state plan, then they are actually going to have jurisdiction over both public sector and private sector. Some state plans, they will cite a city or a county or a parish or a township, but it won't be any dollar figures to it. But some places like Cal OSHA, you'll get a cite if you're a city or a county or anything. They don't care. So in those cases, it really depends on the states themselves. And then the lightest of the colors out of the three that you're seeing are federal OSHA jurisdiction, meaning that only the public sector, only the private sector is covered by OSHA. All the people that are public sector workers, meaning cities, counties, parishes, townships, in the lightest color blue that you see on this map, has no jurisdiction, no coverage. Even the data of injury and illnesses is not recorded for public sector workers because OSHA has no jurisdiction over public sector workers. So you could be doing the exact same job in underground construction and excavation, but you're working with a city wastewater utility, and you're going ahead and you're doing your excavation, and you're at 4 feet, and there's no ways of getting in and out of this excavation, which is a violation in the 1961 rule for it's the 1926, which is construction. But when you get to subpart P for excavation, you go to section 651. And in that section, you'll see where it mentions, actually, it's section 652 will mention about if you are 4 feet down, you're going to need to have some sort of ladder to ramp or something to get yourself in and out of that. If OSHA, federal OSHA, walks by in Georgia, in Alabama, Florida, Louisiana, Arkansas, Texas, and it's a city contract, even with imminent danger, they have no jurisdiction. They would say something because it's the right thing to do. But as far as jurisdiction, they don't have jurisdiction. There's no complaint system for any of those workers that are cities, counties, and everything else. It's just the complaint system will go either to their union or it may go to the city HR or something similar to that, risk management or the city's safety department. But if the mayor or a board member or whoever tells everyone else to stand down, don't worry about this thing, it's nothing, go ahead, don't bother us with this stuff, then who does that worker call on? Therefore, I think this amendment should be changed. The act, I should say. The act should be amended. I really believe it's time. 50 years. It is actually time. It's well over time for us to start thinking about that. So I honestly was going to mention that, and that was one of the first things I was going to bring up, and it took like half the show already. Look at that. I just truly wanted to make sure that I thought about that. Just doing that interview really got me thinking. So while we're when we get right back from our sponsor, then what I'll do is I'll go over the rest of what I was thinking about on this OSHA compliance help show, and that was, of course, the COVID-19 and OSHA and what's going on there. So we'll just go ahead and we'll talk about that a little bit. So right after this word from the sponsor.
Have you heard of Safety Consultant TV? Well, I'm going to tell you about it. The Safety Consultant TV is a subscription-based video on demand service that will help you learn the business of being a safety consultant at the convenience of your own home. This is where you have video lessons in a playlist format, and you will also be able to download material that is going to help you with your safety consulting business today. You could sign up for it at safetyconsultant.tv and watch it on your iPhone, your iPad, Apple TV, Android TV, Roku, and Fire TV. So go right now to safetyconsultant.tv and sign up today.
All right. Well, we are back. If you are going to Safety Consultant TV, use code consultant and you're going to get 1 month for free. I actually want to hear if my sound came back from my board or not, and it did not. So, oh well. So let's go into the other thing that I was thinking about talking about, and that is just really the COVID-19, the new plan, and everything else. So just want to go over that really, really briefly. And part of my show this week is going to be on the 20th. I can't remember. No, actually, just went out. I can't remember the date, but this past Monday. So this current week that we're in, June 13th or 16th is today's date. So the Monday. I talked about pretty much the OSHA standard, the new emergency temporary standard. So I kind of went over that and a few other things, including the future of OSHA and how to find that out. And I talked about their budget too. So those are some of the things that we went over. So let's tell you my initial thought on this temporary emergency standard. So first and foremost, I thought it was kind of cool that we got a new standard. So there is subpart U in general industry, and subpart U is the COVID-19 temporary standard, and it is for healthcare. So I actually thought that was a good move by OSHA to make this standard healthcare only, or I should say healthcare predominantly. It might be, something else where they could include some of the first responders, but then you go right back to, is it a public sector first responder or is it a private sector first responder? So now you see jurisdiction issues. So I think that's probably why they didn't do first responders as well as the healthcare. It's a little easier for them to regulate, in my opinion. I don't have any kind of preamble or anything that I could read on that. I haven't read the preamble, I should say. There is one out out there, though. So preambles, if you're not familiar, preambles are definitely important for you to know. So what a preamble is the pathway and the interaction and communication with everybody on the way to becoming a law. Like today, I actually was listening to a risk management plan, RMP, which is the EPA version of process safety management, PSM. So OSHA and EPA were joint together in this open comment period on risk management plan and also process safety. That is the open comment period. All that stuff gets put together in one place, and it is going to be housed in the preambles. So if you really want to find out this new standard for subpart U in 1910, then go ahead and look at the preambles. That's the way to do it. But overall, I honestly think that is going to be all right. I'm still looking through this. I still need to know some of the specific provisions before I start approaching potential clients. However, it's kind of straightforward, and it does need the rider document for CDC. So those two things together is what's driving the standard. So I really feel that it is going to... It's going to hit their goal. And then the other thing they did is they kind of reinforced the whistleblower thing. So with those two things together, now I really, really believe that OSHA is going to, they're going in the right way. Let's say that. Still going to be a little hard to enforce. I got to tell you the truth. Even though the National Emphasis Program on COVID-19 and the wording in that actually gives you some real good solid things to use for your safety system or to use if you're going out to clients. But yeah, it is going to be tricky to regulate. I'll just say that. As always, if you have any questions or comments, go ahead and put that in the chat. I will answer your questions and your comments real time for you. So anything that comes up, and I usually say this is, if there's a standard or something that you really have an issue with right now, or let's say you want to win a bet, go ahead and put that in. I'll help you out. I got you. I'll help you out. I'll answer that OSHA compliance question for you. But this week on the show, if you have not listened to the podcast, please do. But this is a little clip from it. I'm so happy that you guys are here for me, and I was able to get through this without freaking out, because it's so exciting for me in my world to get new regs. That's how bad I am as a geek. It's terrible. I am the safety. Well, I don't want to steal Bry's name as safety geek, but Bryce Sargent. But truly, I am. I don't know what's going on here. I am truly geeking out over OSHA standard, a new subpart, and here I am, happy as a kid. Okay. Anyway. I'm glad I had a little delay in my video feed, but it was kind of fun that whole time. I truly did completely geek out on the new subpart U that I was just telling you guys about. So, all right, it looks like it is time for a wrap for me. If you guys need any help with OSHA compliance, let me know in a nice email, sheldon@sheldonprimus.com, and I could reply to you that way. I do have a Revealing Secrets to OSHA event coming up, so go to sheldonprimus.com/events, and that's going to help you out. All right. Well, have yourself a wonderful rest of your day, and truly thank you for being part of the show. And I think I am going to set our time for Thursday at 6. Okay, so that is going to be the deal. Thursday at 6 will be my dedicated time. I was kind of doing the guessing between Wednesday and Thursday, and then also 5 or 6. So I just finished doing my testing, so I'm good. I'm going to start announcing that the OSHA Compliance Help Show will be Thursday at 6. And if not, I will let you guys know. So sign up for my newsletter at sheldonprimus.com. All right. So have a wonderful rest of your week. Like I always say, go get them.